Good evening. This is nutritionist Harpreet Pasricha, and welcome to Aditya Birla's Health Insurance Health from Home series. So today in this series we are going to cover up some questions which we have got from the previous sessions, and I'm sure a lot of people must be having these similar questions. So we're going to take a couple of them and clarify your doubts into it. So the first question, what we have seen from a lot of people, we have got this question, is that there is a shortage of supply of vegetables, and my children and my family, they are getting bored out of eating the same dal, rice, roti, sabzi. So what all can I make? So yes, this question is there with so many people that there's only dal chawal and roti dal available, and my kids are not eating. So see, first of all, you have to understand there are two different type of foods. One is your perishable food and one is non-perishable food. Now, when you talk about perishable food, is all your fruits, vegetables, which get spoiled, even eggs, milk, they get spoiled in a very short span of time, like 4 to 6 days. Okay, eggs or milk rather would last you only 2 to 3 days. And non-perishable foods are like your whole grains, that is your wheat, rice, jawar, bajra, ragi, oats, then legumes, all your dals, rajma, your chana, all these come under your non-perishable food. Now, out of this non-perishable food during this phase, during the COVID-19, when you're not able to procure a lot of vegetables, you can make so many things. You just need to be a little innovative. And say, for example, with dals, you can make, with different dals, you can make dal chilas or poda or dosa, whatever you call in your state. You can make appe out of it. They taste yum. Just change and do little variations in it. So maybe if I want to do an appe, so I would put green chili, ginger, whatever kasturi methi or dry spices I would have, I'd put that in the green dal or yellow moong dal. Soak the dal, grind it and add all the spices and make appe. But if you want to do a variation for your children, you could also add things like chili flakes, oregano, if you have any of these things at home, or give them a small tadka with a teaspoon of butter or olive oil, and put some oregano to it, and put some garlic, like a burnt garlic. So tweak that dish, the appe, then you can throw it and then stir fry that appe. So you can make a lot of varieties of non-perishable food. Similarly, if there's kala chana, there's white chana, there's rajma, you can do cutlets out of him. That really taste nice. You can do a chaat out of it. So that's pretty easy to do. You just need to soak, boil, and then toss it up with the spices and some nimbu or whatever, maybe dry mango powder, and that could be your meal. Your children would be happy eating that as a meal. Or you can just take a chapati and put some maybe a chutney if you have, or a hunker dip, and put this rajma chaat and roll it and make like make like a tacos out of it. So lots of things what you can do out of all these foods. Similarly, you can do chutneys of different things, like tomato are usually available. You can do a tomato chutney, you can do a gunpowder chutney, you can do a peanut green chili chutney, you can do sesame, that is your white til chutney. So these definitely will provide nutrition to you all, and along with that will also give variety in your house. And try this and let me know how did you like these options. The second question, a lot of people have asked us this question, that they're having hair loss in last 1 week, 15 days, and they're wondering why all of a sudden the hair loss has started. Now, when we talk about hair loss, one, it could be that you're not eating right. It's not just eating sufficient, you're not eating right. Yes, with the lack of vegetables and fruits, your minerals like biotin or zinc, you're not taking in sufficient amount, and that could be one of the reason that you're losing hair. So in case you're not able to have your regular supply of vegetables, speak to your medical practitioner or your doctor, okay, or just maybe over a call, and take a suggestion about some supplements and eat those supplements. So maybe a zinc supplement or a vitamin C supplement or iron supplement if your body requires, because if you're not eating palak or you're not eating beetroot, so you may require some supplements like iron or folic acid. One is that. Two is protein. If you're lacking protein in your diet, then that could be another reason that you're losing hair. Then third is stress. Yes, it is a phase of stress. We all don't know when this lockdown will finish, what will happen in future, but taking stress and anxiety is not going to make it better anyways. So you have to de-stress. You have to be positive about it, that things will go off, everything will pass off. You have to have positive affirmations. So see how you can de-stress yourself. Writing on a newspaper, breathing exercises, always talking positive things. Talk to people who are positive. Don't talk about this subject again and again. Don't keep seeing the news again and again. So these all things may be causing some panic attacks or anxiety or fearfulness in you, and that could be one of the reasons that you are losing your hair. Okay, so I would suggest that supplements, if you think that you're deficient in some nutrients, take some supplements. Make sure that your protein is there in all the meals, in your breakfast, lunch and dinner, and no stress. Okay, so that is my advice to you. Then we have another question which I wanted to address anyways. Like, a lot of people, their family are involved in either their family members are in defense, or they are in police, or they are health practitioners. So the question was that if my husband is going out for work because his work is related wherein he has to move out, so how can I build immunity? So to build immunity at this phase is very important. And two, yes, your hygiene and sanitation, we all know that you have to take care of. So that's one part. Now, building immunity, you have to make sure that you give a support system to your family member. Give them couple of decoctions made with black pepper, haldi, ajwain, tulsi leaves. These decoctions will help them and keep their lungs clear. Suggest them to do gargles at least twice or thrice a day. Then steam. Taking steam in the night may help to quite an extent. And along with this is nutrition, of course. Okay, so if required a supplement, make sure that the meals are not being compromised. Say, for example, if they are going for work for longer time from morning to evening, make sure that they've eaten enough breakfast, like a good wholesome breakfast which has carbohydrate, protein, some antioxidant. And that mid-morning meals and in between meals, you have to keep reminding them, and also ask them to do like a good hydration. They need to hydrate themselves right. So this would be my suggestion for all those people who are saving us, helping us, taking care of all of us. So whether it is your healthcare sector, or whether it is the diplomats, or whether it is the defense or police who's constantly on their toes and trying to keep us safe. So these small tips, if you as a family member do for your spouse or your your father, these things would help them to build their immunity. So the next question we have from people, a lot of people have complained that they're having bloating and they're feeling discomfort in their stomach and they can't sleep in the night because of that. Okay, so when we talk about bloating, or we talk about discomfort in the stomach, or we talk about water retention, generally it is related to gut health. Okay, so when we're talking about gut, that is your intestinal, your stomach, the entire area forms a gut. So if that's healthy, you are comfortable, you don't get water retention or bloating or flatulence or gaseous feeling, and you're comfortable the entire day. But when people, their gut is inflamed, that is the time when they start getting this discomfort. Now let me tell you the reasons why a person's gut could be inflamed. Okay, the first reason could be wrong lifestyle. Now wrong lifestyle includes a lot of things. So whether it is lack of activity, lack of sleep, or whether it is wrong eating habits, so everything comes under a wrong lifestyle. Also alcohol, smoking. So if you have been having a wrong lifestyle, especially during this time, and you're eating more processed food, or you're having extra alcohol, or you're not moving at all and not keeping yourself active, or you're binge watching the series and movies in the night and not sleeping in time, these all could be one of the reason that they're causing your gut inflammation, and that's what is causing you discomfort, gaseous or bloating, and you can't sleep in the night properly. Second reason could be that you're taking a lot of stress. So again, as I mentioned to you, stress plays a vital role in everything, in each and every part of our system. So if you're stressed, your body is going to release cortisol, which is going to inflame your system further. So one is that you have to correct your lifestyle, okay? Two is that you also have to make sure that you're eating a probiotic food. So whether it is fermented food like idli or appe, where you're doing the food is fermented, or you're having homemade dahi, or you're having a little bit of homemade pickle. These all are your easily available probiotic food, which will keep a check on your gut and not get inflamed. So take care of all these things. Also hydration. If you're not drinking enough water, if you're not having a regular bowel movement, these all things can cause a bloating, water retention and inflammation in the gut. So take care of your gut. It's very important to take care of your gut if you don't want any kind of these discomforts. Okay, the next question we have, a lot of people have asked about their parents and senior citizens, that people who are diabetic or all those elderly people who are somewhere not feeling too great, and somewhere they are negative at this point. So what can we do for them to build their immunity and to take care of them? So I had discussed this in my previous video as well. So some tips what you have to take care for the senior citizens is that make sure that they are trying to be little active. So especially post meal, they need to get up and take some 500 to 700 small tiny steps, so that there is some kind of movement happening in the body. Even sitting and doing some kind of exercises where they are flexing their legs and moving their hands, these all will help them. Two is if they are diabetic or if they have any kind of medical issues, you have to make sure that their medication is happening in time, and plus the amount of food what they're eating and type of food they're eating. Say for example, if there is less movement, definitely we need little lesser food. So 20-25% cutting on food is not a bad idea at that point, at this point. Or easy digestible food like soup, like a broth, vegetable broth, or khichdi, like a thin khichdi. It's a wholesome food, but it is easily digestible. Completely avoid high fiber food like salads and fruit with the peels. Those things need to be avoided for them. And along with all these things, as I'm again and again stressing on stress and things like that, if you have stressed, if you are negative at this point, it further aggravates all the problems. So try and relax your system, try and do breathing exercises and eat healthy, and you should be sorted. So for older people, as I mentioned to you, I'll repeat it again, easy digestible food you need to give them. Make sure that they're doing some kind of movement or light exercises at home, and they're doing breathing exercises, which is again very important. They're not missing on any kind of medication. There's only positive environment in the house. They're talking to their children, doing video calls with their relatives, or that all things, these small things will keep them good and healthy. Okay, the next question comes in here is about about vegetarian food. A lot of people are avoiding non-vegetarian food at this time. They're avoiding chicken and mutton and eggs, and they are worried about their protein source. Yes, protein is very important, and protein is not just important for your growth development. It is also one of the most important function of protein is helping in supporting your immune system. Yes, immune system is the first line of defense for all of us. So protein helps in building up the immune cells and supporting the immune cells. So we need protein to build up our immunity. So if you're not eating non-vegetarian food, there are vegetarian sources of protein. So the first is all your legumes, pulses, dals, rajma, chana. They are all your good source of protein. So a quick tip from me is that if you have any vegetables at home, say aloo or tomato, ginger, garlic, curry leaves, take all of them, and in that you put about 2 spoons of any dal, moong dal or masoor dal, the split one, and boil it nicely. And that broth is one of the very healthy thing to have, and it's easily digestible. You can give it to your children, you can give it to the older people at home. Then so make sure that you're doing a good amount of protein through legumes, that is the food group. Two is nuts. Okay, so almonds, peanuts, or cashew nut, they all are good source of protein as well. But don't overdo any of these things. Similarly is besan. You could use besan in your diet. That is again good in protein. Then is your dairy. In case you're getting milk and you're comfortable drinking milk and it is not causing any kind of indigestion, so you could do dahi, paneer or milk. Even almond milk is a very good idea to do at this point. So especially for children, say you take about 10 to 15 almonds, you soak them overnight, peel off the skin, the almonds what you get, take a little water and churn it nicely in a mixer. Once you've churned it, you could add fresh dates, or you could put in some raisins into it, or you can put some honey, or you can put some figs, and again grind it nicely. Then strain it off through the soup sieve. The milk what you get, it's kind of an almond date milk or a cashew date milk. Very nutritious, very wholesome, good source of protein. You can give this to your children, and you can rest be assured that the protein intake is taken care with your children. A lot of people have asked another question about getting food from outside. Like there are a lot of restaurants which have opened up, so they are asking that whether they can eat outside food, is it safe? According to me, I would suggest that if you can still do home cooked food, okay, that will be a better option because of several reasons, because of hygiene, sanitation. So I would still suggest that until unless you're very sure, I would suggest that you may try and do home cooked food. So some of you may be staying alone in the PGs, or some of you must be staying alone in certain cities and finding it very difficult to cook for yourself. It's okay. You can just try and tweak the recipes and try and use the recipes which are quick. Say for example, you could do a pulao. So if you have rice or brown rice, you can add whatever vegetables you have with you, and along with that put in things like peanut into it, or chana dal. So if you have chana dal, stir fry or slightly roast the chana dal, slightly roast the peanuts, and then put all the vegetables in rice and make a pulao of it. It's very quick, it's nutritious because you're trying to put the protein through dal and through peanuts. And if there's curry patta, there's green chili, there's ginger, just put in everything, haldi, you can do that. Similarly, you can do a stir-fried rice. So you can steam the rice and give a slight tadka with say maybe burnt garlic, like just chop in the garlic, put some olive oil, and whatever things you have available readily with you. Could be oregano, could be salt, could be pepper, could be cinnamon powder. So you can try that. Even simplest is rice and dal khichdi. So you just mix rice and dal and a lot of water, haldi, curry patta. So that we want to add some spices because they are antimicrobial and they have antibacterial properties, and you can do a khichdi at home. Similarly, pancakes. So if you have oats and you're bored of eating milk oats, you could just take oats and grind it in a mixer with some of the spices and make small pancakes out of it. So that's another option what you can have. So you just need to be a little innovative. Try Google and figure out on some recipes from your mother, and try to do some quick fix recipes at home than actually eating outside food. So my suggestion, and I would still go for a home cooked food any day. I also gave you a quick recipe about chaats like kala chana. You just need to boil and then take the chana and put whatever spices into a chaat of it. That can be one of your full meal. So you can try that too. So these are small things which you can use. You can quickly cook. It will not take you more than 20-25 minutes, but at least you'll be assured about the hygiene, and you'll be assured about your health. Okay, that you're taking care of your health. And another advantage, you'll learn some cooking. So another question what we have from a lot of people is they're working from home, and because they're working from home, they are ending up having a lot of tea and coffees. So what can they do about it? So first of all, for all those who are working from home, okay, just don't wake up, pick up your laptop and start working. Okay, have a proper schedule, dress up properly, allocate a place in your house. It could be your balcony, it could be your room, and a place in your room. Put a table and chair, or even if you want to put a small table and you want to sit down with your folding legs, that is also a good idea. So try and be dressed up and reach into that place at the same time as you would do in your office. Okay, that's going to make a huge difference, because once you just wake up and you say, oh, it's 9:30 and I'm supposed to log in into my work, and you start working, you may need an extra tea, coffee. All of a sudden your boss calls, there's a meeting, you'll take another cup of coffee, you may just go and take up a smoke. In that whole bargain, you're probably staying home and staying safe and fighting yourself from COVID-19. But what about the lifestyle diseases which you're going to actually take in when this phase is over? Acidity, diabetes, or cholesterol. If everything like this gets messed up in your system, you may be saved from COVID-19, but you will probably not save yourself from the lifestyle diseases. So first thing, wake up in time, dress up, a bit of dressing up, allocate a place, eat your breakfast first, and then sit and start working. Now, because you've eaten your breakfast, you will not have any cravings for 2 to 3 hours. Okay, in between, when you want to take a break of 5 minutes or 7 minutes, then get up, hydrate yourself first, because that's one thing which a lot of people miss even when they're at home. So drink a glass or two of water, and then opt for maybe say a green tea, okay, or maybe infused water. So you take a bottle of water, put whatever you have with you, maybe a green tea, maybe cinnamon, maybe any fruit like an apple or strawberry, whatever you have at home, even cucumber slices, and keep sipping that water. So green tea, white tea, or maybe infused water, chia seed water. So all these things, if you put it on your desk where you're going to work, okay, automatically you may not end up having extra tea and coffee. Along with that, in between, take breaks, and in that break do some kind of breathing exercises, because we need oxygen to keep ourselves fresh. If the time the oxygen level drips in our system, in our brain especially, that's the time when we start feeling exhausted. Now, because we are exhausted, we'll end up probably having a cup or two of tea or coffee which is strong. So make sure that you allocate a place. 1. 2 is make sure that you've eaten your breakfast before you start your work. Okay. 3, you're having some kind of infused water, you're having tea, green tea, coffee, on the side of your desk, and even some snacks like maybe roasted grams, maybe sprouts, okay, maybe just sticks of cucumber and carrot to eat in between. Like how you carry a dabba in your office, similarly make 3 or 4 small boxes as your mid-meal snack. And then when it's a lunchtime, get up, hydrate yourself again, sit calmly and chew your food well and eat your home cooked food. See, with these small tips, you will work from home and you will not end up having extra caffeine, extra tea, coffee, and you'll not end up, having a lot of lifestyle diseases post COVID-19. And another tip I would also give for people who are working from home, that every hour or every 2 hours, get up and do 500 to 700 steps. It's very important. You all know that smoking is one of the bad thing to do, but sitting is your new smoking. Okay, so if you're sitting continuously at one place for 3 to 4 hours, it can damage your body. So get up, walk, come back, drink a glass of water, get back to your work, and you may not require an extra tea or coffee. Okay, so that's my tip for all those who are drinking extra coffee or tea. Now, another question we have from a lot of ladies and is about that they are ending up gaining weight than losing. A lot of people who are working, they are doing sweeping, mopping, cooking, everything, but they're still ending up gaining weight than losing, because they end up doing a lot of binge eating. So for all those ladies especially who are eating or binge eating or stressed up, a couple of suggestions from me. First thing is pre-prep your meals. Okay, it's very important that you pre-prep your meals a day before. So as what I have started doing is, as I wake up, so instead of finishing up the household work and everything, I get up and first have something to eat. Okay, for example, some nuts. Okay, if there is a fruit, then after some time maybe your breakfast. So instead of feeding your family, first cooking, then feeding, then mopping and sweeping, and then you're so exhausted that you end up eating whatever is available, you're just gulping it down and not chewing your food, can make you, gain weight, can make you feel bloated, can cause water retention. But if you pre-prep your meal, you have scheduled your eating timing, automatically you will not end up eating extra or binge eating or eating wrong food. Okay, so as you wake up, you have couple of nuts or fruit, whatever is available. If you need your tea or coffee, you may take that, or maybe a green tea, or maybe even a herbal decoction made of haldi, ajwain, tulsi, those kind of things you could do. Then after that, you first, before as you made your breakfast, serve breakfast to yourself, eat breakfast, and then start your household work. Okay, don't think that I will finish my household work and then I will start my breakfast. Then these small tips will help you in maintaining your weight, and you'll not end up gaining extra bulges even though you're working extra at home at this point. So try these tips. Here is my tip of the day for all of you. So my tip of the day is to make sure that your food is digested well and it is not causing any kind of discomfort. You have to do a couple of things. First is never eat while watching a television or talking on the phone. So you're eating on a dining table or you're sitting down and eating, and there should be nothing else and just your food and you. Okay. 2 is you will chew your food well. At least 25 to 30 times you have to chew it slowly. So that will take care of your digestion. And 3 is when you are done with the food, you'll get up and walk for 2 or 3 minutes so that your food gets digested well. So this is my tip of the day for all of you.